Tina.
Here.
Councilman Phillips.
Here.
Councilman Casella.
Here.
Supervisor.
Here, everyone please rise for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone please be seated. Before we move to the agenda, I'd just like to have a moment of silence. We'll talk a little bit more later on, but in memory of Eloise Maxey. So just, please have a moment of silence from your seat. Okay, thank you. God bless you, Eloise. So next is a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passed. Next one is a motion to acknowledge the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll move it. Second.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? The motion passed. I'd like to start with some comments. First, as I mentioned in our moment of silence, Eloise Maxey, who's a dear friend of many of us here tonight, made huge contributions over the years to our community. Actually, she was very involved, and she took an active role, appeared before the board on a number of occasions. The last time that we talked, she and I on the phone, and I know Councilwoman Bettina's also talked with her. You know, she was worried not about herself and her condition in the hospital, but about racism, knowing that my wife is Chinese. And, a couple years ago when we had our Black History Month, Eloise contributed a number of articles, pictures, postcards, and other memorabilia about that event, and she was always been dedicated to us. In fact, the last time I talked, she wanted to do a cooking class, for Southern cooking, for us, and we were talking about that. A particular event. So we will have a resolution, a proclamation later on in the agenda for her, and we've have lowered the flag in front of Town Hall half-mast through tonight's meeting. We'll raise it back up to full mast tomorrow. So I wanted to acknowledge her. Angela, I know she was dear to you and your family. Maybe you have a word or two.
Eloise was always a lady. Always had a nice word to say about everybody and everyone. She was there for her community. She gave back so much, and she was always so heartwarming and just there for everybody. If you had any questions or you needed help, you talked to Eloise, and she just had so much wisdom, and she was a phenomenal cook. She really, really was. And I'm not sure many of you had the opportunity to see her or meet her or speak to her. If you did, you know what I'm talking about. So rest in peace, Eloise. We will miss you.
Sure will.
Thank you.
I'd like to mention to everyone, particularly folks that are watching on television and listening, the National Weather Service in Albany has produced the latest forecast that suggests that this heat wave will be lasting through Wednesday. And in fact, I think at 6 o'clock tonight, the temperature was 96, but the skin temperature, the amount that it feels, was 101 in Poughkeepsie, about one of the hottest points in the whole region. And those indices will continue through Wednesday afternoon and evening. There may be some isolated showers between now and then, but not enough to cool. I want to remind everyone to please hydrate, drink water. The doctors recommend 8 glasses, a day. And also, to the extent that any of our residents, want to come to Town Hall for cooling down, for water, we more than welcome you. And please just call ahead. You can call to any one of our offices, certainly call to mine. But between now and then, we would actually have them in the recreation department area, as we have done in the past for cooling centers. So, we'll open that up to everyone if you want. But again, please hydrate during the next couple of days.
Can I say something?
Sure, please.
Please reach out to your neighbors too, especially your elderly neighbors, and just make sure they're okay. Just give them a call on the phone and see if they need anything, because they would appreciate it. because it's very difficult sometimes for them to get out, and you have to remind them to drink
Yeah,
their
absolutely.
fluids. It's very important, so thank you. I know we will, we're a good community.
Hopefully, by the time of our senior luncheon, you'll recall every year the county sponsors throughout the various communities in the county, and they have been doing that. Our senior picnic, it's a drive-through event, although, Jessica, they may or may not have some tables available, but at least plan on driving by. So if you're 60 years or older, you can reserve a spot. I don't know if it's filled up yet, but you can call 845-486-2555, 845-486-2555. This is on July the 14th, and it will be at Airport Drive, which is our soccer field, complex out near the airport. So everyone, please come out. I think a number of us will be there. The county executive and others, show up for these events. So it's a great opportunity to enjoy some, good food and also to meet everyone. On another note, which has actually been happening more and more frequently, but we have over the last few days had a number of fraudulent calls being placed using a town hall number. These are digital calls that are, looking like they're coming from town hall and inquiring. So we've put out a press release with, this information, what to do. If you should become a victim of a scam, we are also, working with the county sheriff's department and the state police to have another training program for this. So please look at our website if you want some additional information. I also like to mention that we are in the road paving season. Our highway superintendent and the department are doing, I think, a great job, especially in the heat. They're paving 16 roads this year between June and July. I think now they're right on Robinson Road, Robinson Lane, that is being paved. They've already done Smith Crossing, Old State, Front Street, Central Avenue. So, the schedule, as we become aware of the dates that they'll be out different locations, we will be, posting it. It's not yet on a set schedule. It's based on the weather, conditions as they encounter it. Also, I'd like to remind people that on July the 10th, there'll be the 150th anniversary sesquicentennial, for the village of Wappinger Falls, 150th anniversary. And this is going to have big band. Rain date is July 17th, fireworks at 9 p.m. And so this will be at Veterans Park on North Mazier. And so everyone, please, come on out and, celebrate this, great event that the Mayor Serino and his trustees have been putting on. So that's, I think, the last of the notes I'd like to share. Any of the councilmen or women, like to share something?
Can we take a moment just to bow our heads for the poor people in Florida that unfortunately lost all their lives, and for their families and their children? It was tragedy. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The next item on the agenda is to open the public portion of the meeting to discuss the items that are specifically on the agenda. Do I have a resolution to?
I'll make a motion to open a public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion and second on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. So any comments with respect to the public, the resolutions that are, on the agenda tonight? Please identify the resolution item, the agenda item, and your
Sure.
name and address.
My name is Benjamin Amundsen. I live at 73 Losey Road. The agenda item is 2021-93, resolution adopting charter for Town of Wappinger Community Affairs Advisory Committee.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know a little more, I guess, of the specifics of this committee, what it would be doing, how they would be interacting with you. Is it going to be a committee where you kind of direct all of the community affairs to them and are they going to be taking over basically the public discourse between the board and the town? I want to know a little bit more about it.
No, you know.
Not at all.
Thanks for the question. It's an advisory committee. We have a charter, you know, that's out there. I'll read, you know, just right now at this point in time from that, you know, particular charter. But the purpose, the legislative intent, is to promote community engagement for our residents to the town. We've previously had a recreation committee, and actually before that was a recreation commission. That particular commission changed to a recreation committee a number of years ago, and then unfortunately that committee became defunct because actually members either had unfortunately passed away or resigned or retired. So, you know, what we're doing is instead of calling it recreation committee, we're calling it community affairs. Jessica, you know, Fulton runs the recreation department, and she handles basically what we call, you know, the recreation programs, you know, that we have in the town and they're throughout the year. So this committee doesn't get its hands, you know, down into the weeds, so to speak, Ben, but it's going to be advisory and looking at a number of the bigger pictures. For example, Community Day. You know, it would be involved in that and coming up with recommendations, ideas. I thought it's also a great way to provide more participation in the town in those ideas. If we look at here, it ranges from enhancements, you know, parks, facility improvements, trail enhancements, so, and certain major events, and as I said in here, such as the Community Day, which we also are looking at doing again this year. There would be no more than 15 members under the charter being proposed. Of course, it could change. And then I've set forth on this, you know, basically my proposal would be have membership coming from kind of at large, ex officio, but then also in here, I suggested that there would be 2, you know, residents appointed from each one of the town, you know, 4 wards. So its idea is to try to be more, you know, participatory, you get more volunteers, because a number of the big events that we do, it's difficult to run them because we have limited personnel and recreation, so we rely on, you know, volunteers, you know, to help, like at a Community Day event. I've also provided in here, as we have done in the past, past recreation committees, there was a stipend that was available for certain events, so we provide this as opportunity for the board, you know, to decide on, you know, based on the particular, you know, event. So it's designed to be engaging more of the volunteers in the community for, you know, some of the reasons I mentioned. And if you know, don't have, actually, I have an extra copy here if you'd like, you know, a copy of it. So
Yeah,
feel free.
that'd be great. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it didn't kind of become a substitution for public hearings and things like that. Because I know from the last meeting that we didn't really address like when that was going to be put on the agenda, the big petition. I think Beal said he wanted to do a workshop, but I don't know, I guess you were on vacation and now he's on vacation. We didn't get a clear answer, and I heard from a resident that there was word that it wasn't going to happen, so I just wanted to, you know, clear that up before I walk away.
Yeah, this is not intended to do anything with respect to issues that may come before the board as far as resolutions or of any nature. You know, in fact, you know, if there was some resolution pertaining, let's say, to Community Day, that would still go through the normal process that we have.
Okay, is there going to be that petition, is that going to be on a town board agenda, or will there be a workshop definitively?
No decision at all. You know, stay tuned.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Are you interested in volunteering?
For the,
Community Affairs?
yes, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, do you have a copy of that?
Yeah. There you go, Jeff. Okay, thanks. Any further comments? with respect to the agenda items? Okay,
I make a
see.
motion to close the public
I'll
hearing.
second it.
Okay, motion second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. The next item that we have is actually a resolution for the counterpart, which is the resolution adopting the charter for the Town of Wappinger Senior Resident Advisories, Committee. This is, similar in nature. We've had a number of interesting ideas proposed. A lot of seniors are interested in getting more involved in planning certain events. This is largely, again, outside of the area that covers by the Recreation, actually, Senior Department, although under the charter, Jessica as Recreation Director and also Dot as the Senior Center Director would be involved in this particular committee. I think what we found during COVID, and as we've coming out of COVID, there are a lot of areas that we want to address that seniors have raised throughout the community, and so this is what we want to try to do in order to promote a more discussion, more ideas on programs, dealing with quality of life. There are grant programs that are available, and we want to do really research into that so we can get some more money to fund events. There's what I'm proposing here is an annual Seniors Recognition Day that Jessica's wanted to do for a while, and I think similar to what I said before, the task of this will be to focus on basically non-recreation program events and other larger events. A similar statement that I made as to the community affairs would have 15 members that would be involved in the committee. And the membership, again, would include 2 residents who I'm proposing to be appointed from each of the 4 town wards. Of course, the Recreation Director, the Senior Affairs Director would be involved in voting members. Ex officio would be 1 member of the town board and the town supervisor. And also the possibility of stipends would be considered. There would be a work plan that would be developed as well. So that's the general framework. I think everybody has a copy of it. Have any comments, questions from the board members? So this is a general framework, that we can then, further develop.
Yeah, so I think one of the things we need to talk about is 15 is an awfully large group. Not sure how much gets accomplished with such a big group. I appreciate, the supervisor wanting to put a number of people on this. I think it just needs a little more attention. I know we've gone through this, we've tabled a couple of times now.
Many times. What, do you have a
Many
number
times.
you propose? This was just, kind of a suggestion, right? I said recommended not to exceed 15, so we
Right,
can
so,
cut back
so
down.
I think what we need is, because I'd like to get a little more input from Jessica on this, especially since it's going to affect her department the most. And we really haven't had the opportunity, and shame on us, but we haven't had the opportunity to bring that forward to Jessica and see, how much she would be involved, what she'd like to see, et cetera, as part of this group, since pretty much you're going to head that group, as well as,
No,
Dick
she
and
won't be
myself.
heading the group. There would be a chairperson, she would not be the chair.
but she's going to be a major
Yeah,
player
she'll
on
be
that.
involved in it. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that she's comfortable, et cetera, because it does supplement what she's going to do on today.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great idea. The seniors are a very important part of our community. Everybody knows that. Because of you, that's why we're here, to be honest with you. But there's a few other things that we could do, I think, to even make this better. Getting feedback from our residents is very important. And if you feedback to even your council person, the yays, the nays, what you like, what you don't like, is very important. And I think, again, having Jessica be part of that is important. We hear from people, but we don't hear from everybody. And I don't think everybody has had an opportunity to voice what they would like to see or what they would not like to see. I think this is great. I think seniors need to be part of our community. So.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. Absolutely, they need to be a part of it. I think what we want to see, though, is you know, I think we'd like to get a little more involvement, find out some of the issues, concerns from seniors, and really, we need to do a better job on that, I think, because we have had some emails come from very specific individuals, and we probably need to address those. But again, I think it's fair that, you know, Jessica, you are part of that solution as well.
So is there a motion to table? I want to make sure that this is tabled only to the next meeting. We've had it 5 times already,
I know.
so
Right.
no comments so far. Okay, is there a
So I make
motion
a
to
motion
table?
to table this at this time.
But I agree with Dick. If we're going to do this in 2 weeks, we're going to put it back on the agenda. Let's make sure we have a solution for this, whether you're going to, I don't want to continue to table it and kick the can down the road. So we either say we're going to do it, we're not going to do it, or it's going to be something else from what we're proposing here today. But 2 weeks, we should have a decision.
Okay.
No more than 2 weeks.
So there's a motion and second to table?
I make
Second.
the motion.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Next item is what we're just talking about, the Resolution 2021-93, resolution adopting a charter for Town of Wappinger Community Affairs Advisory Committee.
Well, I think this goes hand in hand with what we're going to do, and this may be tabled also at this time.
Okay,
And come back to it in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Okay.
Because we'll have more information, which I think will be valuable to make our decision
again,
and make it more,
you know, we'll-
better for everybody.
We'll move this for 2 weeks, but let's have an answer in 2 weeks, some more continuation, right? Either going to do it or you're not
Right.
going to do it.
Certainly.
Correct.
Okay, a motion and second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Thank you. The next resolution is Resolution 2021-94. This is a resolution appointing seasonal groundkeeper. Steve, would you like to just come up and discuss this? This is related to your previous request, and now you have a candidate.
Right. This is one of 3 positions that have remained vacant since the beginning of the season. We did have a candidate come forward and actually show up for an interview and is interested in working. So we
Congratulations.
would like to move forward with this.
So do you the candidate's name, just for our
Excuse me?
candidate's name?
Oh, it's Michael Rodriguez. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
thought it was on.
Yeah, that's on the resolution.
No, it's on the resolution. I just wanted to
Michael
get on the
Rodriguez.
record.
Get it out.
Yeah.
He's from Highland and is very eager to work with us.
Good.
So we just got to find you 2 more? We just have to find you 2 more?
He might have friends.
I hope so.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passed. Thank you, Steve. The next item is Resolution 2021-95. This is recognizing the passing of Eloise Maxey, President of the Northern Dutchess NAACP at the time, the passing passed. The resolution is, I'll read this in a minute, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Okay. Then what I'd like to read for the record is, this is recognizing the passing of Eloise Maxey, President of the Northern Dutchess NAACP, whereas Eloise Maxey was born in Savannah, Georgia in the 1940s and raised in that state. And whereas Miss Eloise, as she was known to many, had taken part in the March on Washington in 1963 and the Selma to Montgomery March with Dr. Martin Luther King in 1965. And whereas she also owned her own business, a soul food restaurant in the Bronx, before settling in the Hudson Valley and leading the Northern Dutchess NAACP for 2 decades. And whereas Miss Eloise has been a dear friend to both elected officials and residents in the town of Wappinger, and whereas last Tuesday, 2 days before President Joe Biden signed legislation making Juneteenth a federal, I think it's now 2 weeks ago now, Juneteenth, a federal holiday, Ms. Maxey died at the age of 76. And now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Wappinger does hereby, with a heavy heart, lower the flags to half-staff at the Memorial Plaza in front of Wappinger Town Hall in memory of her. And we've had them raised, lowered for, I think, over a week. So we have a motion and
And a
second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Thank you. And the next resolution is Resolution 2021-96. This is resolution authorizing drafting of a water tenancy agreement for 641 Wheeler Hill Road. I know CPL had gone out there and inspected it. I had looked at the well. It's a failing well, as we've seen in a couple other areas. Actually, it cuts across into a second property. It's not in very good condition. And so after that, CPL has recommended that we enter into a tenancy agreement, as we've done with about a half dozen other properties. And Jim, you know, you're okay with this, correct?
Yes, so, yeah, we'll draft a tenancy agreement and then bring it back to the board.
Okay.
And there's the 3,200 feet of hookup?
So,
If there's the $3,200 feet of hookup, buy-in?
Well, yeah, I mean, the buy-in fee will be held in escrow until such time as the district
Okay.
is extended.
I mean, it's something we have to do. This is a real issue, and we've seen it on Old Hopewell Road too as well, so I have no issues with this, so I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
And in fact, we have other inquiries with respect to some of these areas. I think, you know, I just wanted to mention an Old Hopewell Road, particularly up
Right.
near Pine Ridge. You know, that road, there's a block of I think it's around 7 to 9 houses that are also uncovered. I've had one of our residents express concern. This is one that you'll recall we had looked at before. CPL had made a recommendation that we connect there's about 2 or 3 different blocks
Right.
of houses along Old Hopewell from All Angels to Route 9. I think at that time, we decided not to do it, look at it further, but it's something that we should be reconsidering. And I think that area, as many of you know, the water district is all around it. It doesn't include it. So, you know, we have, you know, we need to consider that, you know, particular issue. And
Sure.
we can discuss that,
Makes sense.
you know, further going forward. So we have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. So Jim will work on the tenancy agreement.
And we'll have it for the next meeting.
We'll have it for the next meeting for approval.
Thank you.
Sure. The next resolution is 2021-97. This is the acknowledgement of the correspondence log.
Make a motion to
I'll
accept
second
the
it.
correspondence log.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Any of the councilmen and women have any other items for special consideration?
Not at this time.
Councilwoman
Not
Bettina?
this time.
Okay. The next item is that we will move into executive session to discuss actually some IT matters and one contract matter. So do I have a motion?
Make a motion, go into executive session.
Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Thank you.